Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking Pre-Game. A look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. And now, Viking Pre-Game.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios, where tonight the Vikings are getting ready to do battle in a critical Dunn-St. Croix conference game as they take on the Mondovi Buffaloes. Rick Olson here, and soon I'll head over to our other studio and join Dan Petchow as we're getting ready to remotely bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's contest. The Vikings are trying to hold on to their position with a one-game lead at the top of the Dunn-St. Croix Conference with only 3 games left, while the Buffaloes need a win tonight to stay in the conference championship race. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Mondovi Buffaloes and the Colfax Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Serrar's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll remotely bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school girls basketball. All of that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where Dan Petchow and I are getting ready to remotely bring you all the action of tonight's girls basketball game between the 7-4 Mondovi Buffaloes, who are 7-3 in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference, and the 10-3 Colfax Vikings, who are currently sitting at 10-1 and leading the conference. A victory tonight would keep the Vikings all alone in the lead in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference, a full game ahead of the Durand Panthers and 2 games ahead of the Elk Mound Mounders, with only 2 games left. Now, back on December 1st, the Vikings dropped the season opener to the Buffaloes by a score of 60-50 for their only conference loss of the season. The Vikings were led in that game by junior swing forward Maddie Barstead, who scored 16 points. The Vikings are currently riding an 8-game winning streak, including last Tuesday night's 77-53 victory over the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Leading the way in scoring for the Vikings in that game was again Barstead, who put in 14 points, and she was followed by senior guard Addison Olson, junior guard Jasmine Best, who each added 10 points. And then in addition, junior forward Emily Bertram Schofield and senior forward Riley Parker pitched in 9 and 8 points respectively. Thus far this season, the Vikings are led by Barstead, who's scoring just about 14 points per game. She's followed by freshman McKenna Shipman, as well as the aforementioned Best and Olson, who all score nearly 7 points per game. Barstead is also the Viking leading rebounder, pulling down 7.5 boards per game. The last time the Mondovi Buffaloes faced the Vikings, they were led by 5'6" junior guard Josie Hulke, who scored 17 points. Now this season, the Buffaloes are averaging 49 points per game while giving up 44. That compares to the Vikings, who are averaging nearly 59 points per game while giving up only 43. The Buffaloes are led this season by 5'6" junior guard Morgan Clark, who's putting up just over 11 points per game. Behind her is 5'6" senior guard Ella Paschal, who contributes almost 10 points per game. The leading rebounder for the Buffaloes is 5'7" junior forward Abby Johnson, who's pulling down just over 8 boards per game. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective on tonight's game between the Vikings and the Mounders as we chat with Viking head coach Courtney Serrar on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, what they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Today we're talking with Viking girls head coach Courtney Serrar. And Coach, we have company today. How about doing the introductions?
Yeah, I'm home with this girl today. She's not feeling the best, but we're making it work. So,
Okay.
Cameron.
Well, hello, Cameron. And now let's get back to a little bit of basketball here. Last Tuesday, the Vikings got a little better foothold on first place in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference with, well, I guess we could describe as a dominating 77-53 victory over the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Your comments about that game?
Yeah, it was just another great win to keep us in first place. We were a little kind of slow at the start. I think just tired from our previous victory the night before against Elkbound. Just looked a little tired, but we were able to fight through that and come out victorious and just keep ourselves in another great position moving forward for tonight.
Now that victory maintains the one-game lead the Vikings have in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference with only 3 games to go, counting tonight's game. And tonight, the Vikings will take on another team that's in the thick of that conference race, the Mondovi Buffaloes. Now, the Buffaloes are in a must-win situation tonight, as a Viking victory would eliminate them from the title race. Now, what can you tell us about the type of challenges the Buffaloes present?
Yeah, they're a great team. They beat us the first time around. So we have to come ready to play tonight. It would make their season to beat us again, to go 2-0 against us for the first time in a long time. So we've just been talking to the girls all week, that to win tonight. So whatever it takes, just make sure that we do all the things that we want them to do every night. And that's, work hard, be a great teammate, never give up. And we've talked about this too, but I think we're a different team than we were, the first time around. So we're confident, but, we know what we have to do to get the job done.
Now, last time these two teams met, it was the opening game of the season, and the Buffaloes gave the Vikings their only conference loss of the season. Now, in that game, the Mondovi was led by 5'6" junior guard Josie Hulke, and she rang up 17 points. But now the Buffaloes are led by 5'6" junior guard Morgan Clark, who's averaging 11 points per game. What do the Vikings need to do to shut down both Clark and Hulke?
Yeah, we have some big defensive assignments tonight because they have not only Clark and Hulke, but they also have a really great player in that Ella Paschal. So several girls are going to have to step up tonight and just, make sure that we're getting the job done on the defensive end. I know the girls are excited and kind of ready to show them that, the first time around was, not going to be the same as tonight. So
funny how revenge is such a great motivator, isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Now, are there Viking players, specific players who need to bring a little extra tonight?
I've asked just, everybody to contribute something. So I said, there's always going to be some adversity tonight. We've had lots of girls step up and make shots for us. And, like I said, we have a lot of kids who can score. I'm interested to see who that person is going to be. But I've just challenged the entire team to, even if the ball's not going in, there's things you can do for us that win games. And that's make sure you box and rebound. They absolutely killed us on the rebounds the first time we played them. And that's something we're going to have to clean up tonight. And the other things you can always do is just play great defense, hustle, beat them to loose balls. Those are going to be the deciding factor in the game tonight.
Now, the basketball gods have been kind of wicked with you guys with your schedule this last week or so. Are there any illnesses or injuries or anything that we should be aware of that have been brought about by this?
No, luckily we were able to survive our busy week without any injuries, which is always a positive. Jill is still just trying to get back into game shape, so we're going to wait on her until next week, hopefully, if she's feeling better. So it's just been kind of sore, it's hard to come back after taking, more than a month off. So, but yeah, otherwise we're healthy and, ready to play. And it was nice to have, 2 days in between our games this time. So I think we'll be fresh and ready to play.
Well, Coach Farrar, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully the Vikings can move one step closer to a three-peat in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference.
I hope we'll be victorious.
All right.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, with a look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. Tonight, the Vikings have an opportunity to avenge a season-opening loss to the Mondovi Buffaloes, as well as come closer to securing claim on the Dunn-St. Croix Conference Championship for the third year in a row. The Vikings are currently 10-1, and the Buffaloes are 7-3 in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference. For the Buffaloes, as an almost must-win game if they have any hopes of gaining the championship. So the stage is set for some exciting high school girls basketball. And we'll remotely bring you all the action right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Now, in just a moment, I'll be headed to our other studio to join my colleague Den Petchow as we'll remotely bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game between the Colfax Vikings and the Mondovi Buffaloes. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
NLWN-TV is excited to present live NWARCI's racing action. Next Saturday, January 30th, we will present racing from Stanley, Wisconsin. Join us at 11:45 a.m. from Otter Lake in Stanley. These races are sponsored by the Curve Inn in Stanley. That's live ice racing action at 11:45 a.m. on Saturday, January 30th on NLWN-TV.
Colfax Viking basketball is on the air.
They're at the free throw line to Addison from 3. She hit it! Addison Olsen with a 3-point.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV proudly presents tonight's Colfax Viking girls varsity basketball game.
Bomb being chased down and finally pulled away by Barstead, who puts it up and in.
Join us as we head out to the gym for tonight's Viking basketball.
Look to Best. Best drives into the lane, puts up a shot, rattles around and in. And good evening and welcome to, well, our view of Mondovi High School. We want to thank Mondovi High School for the video feed as we're bringing you tonight's game between the Colfax Vikings and the Mondovi Buffaloes. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow here, and we're ready to bring you all the play-by-play action. But I do want to draw your attention to one thing just prior to us going on the air live here was that ad you saw for the ice racing tomorrow. And yes, the ice racing is happening tomorrow, but they've had such great turnouts at the races, they have to move everything ahead an hour. Otherwise, they can't get in because they run out of daylight. And so everything is moving up 1 hour. So our coverage of the ice races from Otter Lake in Stanley will start at 10:45 rather than 11:45. And we hope you all tune in for that because I'll tell you what, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. If you haven't,
we're going to dress up nice and warm, and it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, if you haven't seen this before, either come out or check it out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And our switcher, Ann, is going to be there, and, yeah, we're going to have a good time out on the ice. Well, Dan, we've got a pretty critical game. Mondovi Buffaloes trying to stay in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference race. Vikings sitting on top of the conference. They've got a 1-game lead over the Durand Panthers, a 2-game lead over the Buffaloes and the Elkmound Mounders. So this is a must-win game for the Buffaloes because Vikings only have 2 games left after tonight. And so if the Vikings manage to pull off a win tonight, that'll knock the Buffaloes out of the conference race.
Yeah, and, Durand's no slouch of a team yet either, so it'd be good to maybe even get 2 games up on them.
It would be a nice break for the Vikings if they could somehow manage to do that. Well, I tell you what, Dan, we've got a little bit of time. Why don't you tell us who's going to play in tonight's game?
Yeah, here's the starters for Mondovi tonight. They're going to go with junior number 10, Morgan Clark, junior number 14, Josie Hulke, senior number 20, Ella Paschal, junior number 23, Catherine Thompson, and junior number 24, Abby Johnson. For the Colfax Vikings, they're going to go with their senior number 10, Addison Olsen, senior number 14, Bailey Bradford, senior number 20, Marissa Harmon, junior number 22, Maddie Barstead, and senior number 40, Jasmine Paulus. So they're starting 5.
And that's been the starting 5 for the last couple of weeks now for the Vikings, and they've been putting some points up on the board and playing some really good defense, and they're going to need every bit of that tonight. Hey, I'll tell you what, we've got a little bit of time before this one gets underway, so why don't we take a bit of a timeout here as well. You're tuned to Viking Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Bruce Buckley is just what the doctor ordered it. In fact, he is the doctor, and he's ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380.
If you have a high-deductible health plan, opening a health savings account at Dairy State Bank will allow you to save tax-free dollars to pay for a long list of health-related services allowed by the IRS. Dairy State Bank HSAs are serviced locally and work like a regular checking account. You can use a debit card or check to pay for expenses and access your account through online or mobile banking. Visit DairyStateBank.com to learn more about HSAs and online or mobile banking. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings. And we're taking a look in at Mondovi High School as the teams are warming up down on the floor. We got just under 6 minutes before this one gets underway. Dan, tell us a little bit about this matchup.
Yeah, 7-4, Mondovi 7-3. Conference for Colfax. It's a good matchup.
Vikings are 10-1 in the conference.
Right, 10-1 in the conference.
Mondovi is 7-3.
Right, and yeah, it was the first time around. First game of the season. Mondovi looked really good. Colfax was kind of getting their legs figured out, and so I think things will change around tonight, maybe a little bit.
Coach Suar made the comment that we're not the same team. We're not the same team that played back in December against these guys, and so part of that was, yes, it was the very first game of the season for both teams, and that was due to COVID. They had a preseason game that got canceled, or a non-conference game, I should say, before that. And so all of a sudden they get thrown into the fire against one of the conference favorites. And the Vikings were replacing 8 really good seniors from last year that graduated and a new coach. Now, granted, Coach Serrar is using a modified version of the same system that the Vikings have been using for many, many years. But it's still an adjustment that the girls had to make, and that's a lot of adjustments to make. And I don't want to make excuses, but to lose that game by only 10 means they were in it, and maybe they can actually show where they've come tonight. On the other hand, this Mondovi team is no slouch.
Right, yeah. Yeah, they're going to have to do a good job tonight on number 24, Abby Johnson, their forward, 5'7" forward. Try to keep her out of the paint and make sure they box her out. Try to get some rebounds and maybe get some quick points off transition down the court.
And they have to shut down Morgan Clark. She's been the leading scorer for the Mondovi Buffaloes, and hopefully they get a good defensive matchup on her and shut her down. Kind of like what they did to Tori Blaskowski of Elk Mount, where they pretty much took her out of her game, and they're going to have to do the same type of thing with Clark tonight.
Yeah, maybe they can make Mondovi a little one-dimensional, and maybe, what I'll say, comes down to the end of the game, get to the line, make your free throws, and can kind of put a team away that way.
You can, but you're right. You have to make the free throws if you put the team to the line. Or if the other team puts you to the line, you can hang on to your victory by making your free throws as well. And that's a critical move that teams have. So you youngsters out there watching and paying attention, yeah, sometimes shooting lots and lots of free throws is really boring. It really pays off. Coaches love it when players are just deadly from the free throw line, but that takes work. And you can be so valuable to your team if you are deadly from the line.
Yeah, those clutch moments like that, you just never know when they're going to come along, and got to take advantage of them when they do come.
JV game ran a little bit longer than expected this evening, but the Vikings came out victorious fairly handily, actually. It was the Vikings 53, the Mondovi Buffaloes 26. So more than double them. And so a real good performance by the Viking JV. There's a lot of promise for this Viking team in years to come as well. There's a lot of talent down there.
Yeah, it just keeps showing up every year.
And, the old adage in Colfax has been for many, many years, we don't rebuild, we just reload. And when you watch the JV play and you watch the kids that come up from the JV to get, even though it's limited time in varsity games, you can see it's there.
Yeah.
And
the girls keep working hard, right from freshmen on up, and they just keep looking better every year. We're getting down here, what, minute 15 left?
Yeah, they'll be doing starting lineups here pretty soon. I'm looking at the floor right now to see which of those JV kids have actually come up to play tonight. And, let's see. Who am I seeing down there?
Number 4?
Well, there's 54 Ainsley Olson down there. Number 34, Alearine. I didn't see if Jeanette Hajdukovic was down there or not.
52, Jenna Goodell. I saw her number.
So those are some of those
50.
kids. Yeah, that's Jeanette Hajdukovic. There she is. So those are some of those kids that came up from the JV squad to play, or at least to suit up for varsity time tonight. We'll see if any of them actually get some time in there. I'll tell you what, why don't we're about to get national anthem and player introductions and so on. Why don't we send it down to the scores table in Mondovi?
Please face our flag and join us in playing our national anthem.
And that's the playing of our national anthem. And now we'll send it right back down to the scores table and double check our starting roster with their starting roster.
Let's first meet the starting lineup for visiting Colfax Vikings. Senior number 10, Ashton Hilton. Senior number 14, Bailey Bradford. Senior number 20, Marissa Harmon. Senior number 22, Madison Buxted. And the senior number 40, Jasmine Paulus. The Vikings head coach is Courtney Sarda. Now let's meet the starting
Well, we already have a correction to make in the starting lineup that we gave. Instead of Josie Hulke starting, we have Paige Everson starting for the Mondovi Buffaloes. So the starting 5 for the Buffaloes, we have Clark, Everson, Paschal, Thompson, and Johnson. And for the Vikings, it's the usual 5, Olson, Bradford, Harmon, Barstead, and Paul. And the Vikings have the ball. They bring it down the floor to get things started off. Putting it from the outside is Bradford. She gets a pass down to Paulus. Paulus tries to go up with a shot from the right side and gets fouled. He tries to put it up, and Jasmine Paulus goes to the line to shoot 2. Paulus' first shot is up and good. And her second shot's on the way. It rolls off, no good. Vikings on top, 1-0. Just underway here in Mondovi. And down the floor come the Buffaloes. This is Clark with it between the circles. Gets it over to the right side to Thompson. Dribbles it back out high. Feeds it over to the left. They get it down into the left corner. Back out to the wing on the left side. And the shot goes up. It's no good. That shot was by Thompson. And down the floor come the Vikings. Shot from the outside is no good. That was by Barstead. And Mondovi comes away with the rebound. And down the floor they go over onto the left side. They get it out between the circles. That's Clark with it. Feeds it over to the left side to Everson. Everson back over to the right side to Thompson. Thompson tries to drive the baseline. Doesn't get anywhere with it. Feeds it out to Johnson. Johnson then down into the right corner. Damn, they shouldn't allow them to have ponytails down over their numbers. It really makes it hard. Anyway, they've got it over to the left corner, kicking it back out high to the free throw line, extended left. Now back over to the right side. That's Clark with it. Feeds it down toward the lane. Everson almost goes out of bounds, but she saves it back into Clark. Over to Paschal, and then they get it over to the left side. Back out to Everson, puts up the shot, no good. It's chased down and goes off the foot of Everson. Scramble on the floor. Vikings come away with it. Bradford has it. Long pass down the floor to Paulus. Paulus turns around. Thinks better of taking it in. Feeds it out, and a three-pointer. Addison Olsen with the three.
Yeah, she launched that one. 3 feet behind the three-point line. Good shot.
4-0, Vikings on top. As Clark brings it down across the timeline for the Buffaloes. Feeds it over to the left side, now back over to the right side to Clark, puts up the three, it's no good. Rebound being chased down, it goes out of bounds, and it's Viking ball. Harmon to inbound it for the Vikings. Full court pressure going to be put on by Mondovi. Now they get it to Barstead, she comes down the floor. Feeds it over to the right side. Now back out high to Harmon. Over to Paulus on the left side, down in the left corner. And they're going to say she got fouled. And the foul is going to be on Abby Johnson. That's Johnson's first personal, first team foul. Check that, that's the second team foul on Mondovi. That's right, there was that early one that Paulus made the free throw on.
Yeah, I never did see who that was.
Inbound to Olsen. Olsen between the circles, gets it over to Paulus on the right side. Back over to Harmon on the left. Three-pointer on the way. Harmon follows her shot, gets the rebound. Gets it out to Bradford, to Paulus on the right. Gets it to Olsen, cutting through the lane. Lays it up, and it goes in. Addison Olsen with another one.
Addison Olsen's got 5 points already.
And down the floor come the Mondovi Buffaloes. Vikings on top, 6-0. 15:03 to go in the first half. Buffaloes have it down in the left corner. Feed it into the lane. Turnaround jumper by Clark is no good, but she got fouled on the way up. So Clark is going to go to the line. Fouls on Olsen. Her first personal, first team foul. And Clark's first shot is good. And the second shot is also good. 6-2, Vikings on top. Mondovi finally breaks the scoring drought. Inbound pass to Olsen, gets it back to Barstead. Barstead on the dribble, up across the timeline. Moves it over to the left side to Bradford. Takes it to the key, tries to feed it to Paulus, cutting the lane, and the pass gets intercepted. Clark comes down the floor, turns around on the left side, gets it back out high. Now they move it around to the right side. It's Thompson with it. Thompson back out to Clark. Now over to the left side. Down in the left corner. Now they get it back out high. And over to Paschal. And the ball goes out of bounds.
Poked away by number 22, Maddie Barstead for Colfax.
Several substitutes into the game for the Vikings. Mondovi to inbound. Ball comes into Paschal, high, wide, and right. Feeds it over to the right wing. This is Everson. Everson. Anyway, the shot was no good, and Vikings come away with the rebound. And Olsen brings it across the timeline down the right side. Feeds it out to Barstead. Then back out to Irwin. The shot from three is no good. Rebound taken down by Bertram Schofield, and she puts it up and in from the lane. 8-2, and we have a timeout on the floor. 13:41 to go in the first half. Vikings 8, Buffaloes 2, and you are tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV by calling 715-563-1749.
And we're back here at Mondovi High School. Actually, Dan and I aren't. We're looking in on Mondovi High School just like you are. And the Buffaloes inbound the ball. They bring it across the timeline. They get it over to the right side. Ball gets knocked away by the Vikings. That was Jasmine Best knocking it away. Feeds it down low. Shot goes up and in by Emily Bertram Schofield. 10-2, Vikings on top. Buffaloes have it down in the right corner. Driving in the baseline. That's Paschal. Turns around, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings.
Yeah, good job by Maddie Barstead right there to get the turnover. We got a jump ball. Possession in favor of Mondovi.
YouTube keeps sending us suggestions on playback quality and stuff.
We have good quality, don't we?
Yeah, we're doing okay here. Stop bugging us, YouTube. Keep the signal coming. All right, Mondovi inbounds it. 10-2, Vikings on top. Buffaloes have the ball from the left corner. Shot goes up, no good. Rebound being fought for underneath. And we're going to get a whistle and a jump ball being called. Parker in the lineup, replacing Barstead. Vikings bring it down the floor. This is Best on the dribble. Takes it right through the center circle. Slightly over to the right side. Now she takes it out between the circles. Passes off to the right side to Parker. Get it out high to Shipman. Down into the right corner to Bertram Schofield. Takes it over toward the lane. Now over the left side to Best. Best at the top of the key. Takes it into the free throw line. Backs back out again between the circle. Over to Irwin on the right. She tries to pass it. Ball gets knocked, but she picks it back up. To Shipman. Drives down the right side. Got tripped on the way down. And we do have a foul being called. And that foul is on Ava Gray, her first personal. Third team foul on the Buffaloes. Ball comes in. Bertram Schofield has it on the right side. Her pass gets tipped. And the ball gets knocked loose out of bounds. Last touched by the Mondovi Buffaloes. Oh, check that. It was on Abby Johnson.
Yeah, that's her second.
The fourth foul for Buffaloes. Vikings to inbound it. To Bertram Schofield. Lays it up and in. Emily Bertram Schofield came cutting down the lane, and it was just a simple bounce pass to her, and she put it right up off the glass and in. And here comes Clark driving in. We're going to get a whistle and foul underneath. And we'll see who they get that one on. It's on Parker, her first personal. Second team foul on the Vikings. Morgan Clark at the line. First shot is up. It's good. She's 3 for 3 from the line tonight. 12-3, Vikings on top. And the second shot goes off the front of the iron. Rebound fought for. Park comes away with it for the Vikings. Gets it over to Best as she takes it down across the timeline and then down the right side. Turns around. Now she's double teamed. Now she feeds it back out high, wide, and right to Bertram Schofield. Turns around. Kicks it back out to Best. Best three-pointer on the way. No good. Rebound being fought for underneath. And we're going to get a whistle. And I think we're going to get a foul on Irwin, I believe. Yes, it is. Her first personal. Third team foul on the Vikings. 11:17 to go in the first half. Vikings 12-3. And down the floor come the Mondovi Buffaloes. This is Clark being guarded by Best. She feeds it over to the right side. The shot that time was by Gray. It's no good, and Vikings come away with it down the floor. Best on the dribble. Takes it over to the right side, feeds it over into the right wing, and it's taken away by the Buffalo on the floor. It feeds it to Clark. She lays it up and in. And the Vikings have it. And Emily Bertram Schofield with the shot. Funny how you feel naked when your mic or when your headphones cord comes out. Microphone was still good. All right. Mondovi has it on the left side, drives into the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken away by Emily Bertram Schofield. It was partially blocked. And Best has it at the top of the key, feeds it over to the right side. To Shipman, back over to Best. Three-pointer on the way, rattles around him, no good. Put-back shot is no good by Bertram Schofield. And she's going to go to the line for two. And her first shot is good. They didn't put who the foul was on up on the board.
Yeah, I thought I put up. Oh, here we go. Nope, maybe not. I thought it was number 10, Morgan Clark.
Right, because they don't have a 4.
Right, yeah.
Well, we'll say that was Clark anyway. She was in the vicinity. Emily Bertram Schofield, her second shot is off the back of the air, no good. Coming away with it is Everson. And she feeds it off to the right side and back out between the circles with Thompson. Over to Clark. Then down into the corner, driving the baseline, and they feed it out. That was Cassie Thompson putting the shot up, and it was no good. And the Vikings come away with it down the floor. It's on the right side. Best on the dribble. Gets it over to Hartman. Check that's Arstead on the dribble. Now they get it down into the corner. Back out to Olsen. High, wide, and right. Now she takes it out to the center circle. Gets it back over to Barstead. Launches a long three. It's no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Shot goes up. It's no good. Rebound being battled for. Barstead comes away with it. Puts up the shot. It's no good. And she got fouled as she was going back up this time. Maddie Barstead going to the line for two. Vikings on top 16-5. First shot is good. And the second shot is on the way, and it's also good. 18-5. Vikings on top, 9:09 to go. By the way, that's 6 fouls now on the Buffaloes, so the Vikings will be in the bonus. Buffaloes have it on the left side. Try the left baseline by Clark. Pass gets back out to the left side now to the top of the key, and we have a travel being called. That, I believe, was Cassie Thompson on the dribble as she tried to make a move into the lane and took an extra step in the process. Barstead to inbound. Gets it to Olsen. Takes it up across the timeline. Dribbles it over onto the right side. Gets it out to Paulus. They swing it around to Bradford and then back across to Barstead down the right side of the lane. She lifted it up off the glass and good. 20-5, Vikings up by 15. 8:34 to go. And here comes Mondovi across the timeline. They get it over to Cassie Thompson. Now to Clark out between the circles. Clark comes down the right side of the lane. Dishes it back out to Cassie. Puts it up and off the glass. It's going to count. And she's going to go to the line. We got a foul on the Vikings. Our foul was on Jasmine Wallace. Her first personal, 4th team foul on the Vikings. And the +1 is good. And here come the Vikings down the floor. Barstead has it. She crosses the timeline with it. Feeds it over to Olsen between the circles. Comes around to the left side. Tries to feed it down underneath to Barstead. Barstead works towards the lane, lays it off the glass, and puts it in. Nice underneath move by Maddie Barstead. 22-8, Vikings on top. Mondovi with it. This is Kathy Thompson. Feeds it into the lane. Shot goes up. It's no good, but she got fouled on the way up. That was, I believe, Shaylee DeWitt. I think that's who that is. Again, those long ponytails down in front of the numbers. You kind of have to read them as the ponytail flashes by. It looks like a 32. Anyway, she's at the line. First shot is on the way. It's no good. And the second shot is on the way. It's off the back of the iron, taken down by Harmon. Harmon brings it down the floor, gets it over to Olsen on the left side. Olsen feeds it down underneath, and it's intercepted by the Buffaloes. They quickly come back down the floor, feed it down into the left corner. This is Clark. Gets it back out high, at the top of the key. It's Ava Gray. And that was Ella Paschal with the shot. It went in.
Fouls on Maddie Barstead, so going for the and one.
And that's the 6th team foul on the Vikings, so both teams will be in the bonus. Paschal shot is up and good. Vikings bring the ball down the floor. Barstead across the timeline. Over on the left side. Now takes it to the free throw line. Into the lane. Turns around. Puts it up. It rolls off. No good. Mondovi with the rebound, and down the floor they come. Feed it over to Gray on the right side. Then to Clark. And Clark got a bit of a shove by Noel. So Morgan Clark to the line. Shooting the 1-1. That's Noel's first foul. 7th team foul on the Vikings. Clark's first shot is on the way. It's good. So she'll get the bonus. 22-12. Vikings up by 10. Morgan Clark's second shot is off the back of the iron, no good, but she chases down the rebound. Check that that's not Clark, that's Everson. They get it out high. They try to feed it down, and the pass is intercepted by Barstead. Barstead comes down the lane, puts it up from the left side. It goes in, it counts, and we got a foul. She went up, drew the harm, but the ball went through. And the Mondovi coach isn't very happy about that. Foul is being called on Cassie Thompson. It's Thompson's second personal, 7th team foul. Barstead to the line for the +1.
Barstead has 8 points so far.
Let's make that 9. 25-12, Vikings up by 13. And down the floor come the Buffaloes. Thompson feeds it over to the left side to Everson. And the Vikings come away with the rebound, but it gets stolen. And Mondovi has the ball. And we have a foul. And that's going to be on Barstead.
Yeah, that's her second foul.
This game's getting called a little tighter than the last one the Vikings were in. That's not a bad thing. It's just players have to make the adjustment.
Yeah, lots of game left. 6:28 yet in the first half. Don't want to get in too much foul trouble for some of these girls.
Catherine Thompson at the line for Mondovi. Her first shot is on the way. It's good. So she'll get the bonus. Emily Bertram Schofield was ready to inbound that ball and head down the floor. Maybe that's facial. I don't. These numbers all of a sudden are a little harder to read than they were during the warm-ups. I don't know why. But anyway, down the floor come. That's facial with a long shot. It's no good. Now she's got it back out between the circles. Feeds it over to the right side. That's to Johnson. Now down into the corner. That was Gray, and she drove the baseline, got tied up for a dump. No, we got a foul. And I believe it's, yes, and you're right, Emily Schofield with the foul. Her first personal. That's the 9th foul on the Vikings. Gray at the line. First shot is good. This is what we were talking about when we were talking to those youngsters earlier about being deadly with the free throws. Mondovi is hitting those free throws. Second shot is also good. Cuts the lead by the Vikings to 9 with 6:08 to go. Down the floor come the Vikings. Shipman with it, takes it down to the right side of the lane, puts it up no good. Rebound gets tapped around underneath, scramble for the ball, and we've got a whistle and a jump ball being called. At first I thought he was going to call a foul, but no, he decided that's a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of the Mondovi Buffaloes. And they inbound it. And bring it down the floor. On the left side. And bringing it over to the right side is Everson. He drives the right baseline. And then feeds it over to the left corner, putting up a shot. 3-pointer is on the way and good. 25-19, they now cut it to 6. Vikings feed it into the lane to Bertram Schofield, back up to the right side corner. 3-pointer on the way, no good. And Mondovi comes away with the rebound, and the pass into the forecourt gets knocked out of bounds by the Vikings. Emily Bertram Schofield got a hand on it. And we have a timeout being called by the Vikings. So with a timeout on the floor, with 5:13 to go in the first half, Vikings 25, Mondovi Buffaloes 19. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
NLWN-TV is excited to present live NWARCI's racing action. Next Saturday, January 30th, we will present racing from Stanley, Wisconsin. Join us at 11:45 a.m. from Otter Lake in Stanley. These races are sponsored by the Curve Inn in Stanley. That's live ice racing action at 11:45 a.m. on Saturday, January 30th on NLWN-TV.
And we're taking a look back in at Mondovi High School, where the Vikings have a 6-point lead with 5:13 to go in the first half. Mondovi has the ball. Elpacial to inbound. Gets it to Everson. And then over to the left side. That's Johnson. Now back over to the right side to Everson. Feeds it into the lane. She's looking to do something. The ball got tied up and out of bounds. Last touch by the Mondovi Buffaloes. Bertram Schofield inbound it. And the Vikings quickly take it down the floor. Feed it over onto the right side to Harmon. Or check that was the left side. Harmon's shot was just a little bit off. Mondovi comes away with the ball. Everson takes it down, but it gets stripped from her and out of bounds.
Yeah, good hustle there by number 32, Jasmine Best, to get back and play defense for Colfax. That could have been an easy two.
All right, Mondovi to inbound it. Vikings are going a little bit cold. Inbound pass is an errant pass and gets picked up by Bertram Schofield, and then she gets kind of bumped out of bounds. And we're going to get a foul called against Mondovi. And the foul's on Ava Gray. It's her second personal. 8th team foul on the Buffaloes. Check that. Jasmine Best to be at the line for the 1-and-1. She's got the ball. First shot up and in. 26-19. Best with the bonus shot here. It's up. It rattles around. It falls off. Rebound put up by Bertram Schofield. Sat up there for a while but did not go. And then the Vikings get the next one. Bertram Schofield puts one up. Irwin comes away with it. Irwin with the jumper. It's off the iron. No good. The Vikings can't get that ball. They had 4 shots at it there. Couldn't get it to go. And now we're going to get a foul called against the Vikings on the rebound. Walk the length of the floor.
Yeah, good job by Colfax there to get to the baseline and get the, 4 shots, 4 turnovers.
So the first shot is up and good. I didn't catch the number of that shooting, Dan. Lily Kryback at the line. She made the first, missed the second. And down the floor come the Vikings. 26-20. Vikings up by 6. 4:18 to go in the first half. They feed it off to the left side to Irwin. Irwin to the free throw line. Gets it back over to the left side to Best. Best drives into the lane. Takes it to the hole, and she put it in. 28-20. And here comes Mondovi down the floor. Just under 4 minutes to go in the first half. Shot goes up by Paschal. It's no good. Rebound. Chased down by the Vikings. And here they come down the floor. It's Olsen on the dribble. Turns around. Gets it out to Best. Best over to Bertram Schofield. Drives into the lane. Puts the jumper up. No good. Gets her own rebound. Kicks it back out to Best. Best hesitates and puts up the 3. It's no good. Rebound being chased down. Mondovi gets it, but they're being challenged by Irwin, and I think they're going to get her with a foul. I think she reached in a little bit too much. 3:29 to go in the first half. Vikings up by 8. This is Thompson at the line. First shot is up, and it rattles in. I think it's Thompson. That looks like a 3. Second shot. Rolls around. It does not go in. Oh, it's Ella Paschal. Number 20. The 0s and 3s look very similar. All right, Vikings have it over on the right side. Olsen in the right corner. And she dribbles it out a little bit higher, feeds it over Best at the side of the lane. Now they get it back out. Shot goes up, no good. Rebound by Bertram Schofield. She laid it in. (30-21). Vikings by 9.
Emily's got 12 points already.
Mondovi feeds it over to the left side. Now driving into the lane, putting the shot up. Ella Paschal with the shot, and it's good. 30-23, Vikings by 7 with 2:39 to go in the half. Best with it, feeds it over to the right side. Shot goes up, it's no good. Rebound taken down by Emily Bertram Schofield. And her next shot is no good, and we get a whistle and a foul. And Bertram Schofield's going to go to the line for the 1-1, I believe.
Looks like the foul's on 20, Ella Paschal.
It is. It's her first personal. 9th team foul. Emily Bertram Schofield being tough on the offensive board tonight. First shot's on the way, it's good. Now she gets the bonus. Her second shot on the way, off the back of the air, no good, and Mondovi comes away with the rebound. And down the floor across the timeline on the right side, this is Paschal on the dribble. Feeds it out between the circles. That's Thompson, getting it over to Paschal. Okay, remember this, if we can't read the number, it's Thompson. She's the one with the long hair in front of the number.
Right.
Now they've got it to Everson. Now back out high. That was Lily Krybeck. Then back to Everson. Three-pointer on the way is no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. We have a whistle.
And a foul.
And a foul on the rebound. And that was a foul on Mondovi on the rebound. So we walk the length of the floor again. And the Vikings will be at the line for 2. Jasmine Best to get 2 because both teams are in the double bonus for the last couple minutes. Jasmine's first shot, good. And we're looking for the second shot here. It's on the way, it's also good. 33-23, Vikings back up by 10. Mondovi has the ball. Coming across the timeline, that's Everson. She picks up the dribble high, wide, and left. Gets it over to Paschal. Paschal loses the handle, and away comes Jasmine Paulus with the dribble, but she had her pocket picked by the Buffaloes, and here they come back on the floor. Thompson with it across the timeline. Gets it over to the left corner, and she took an extra step. Trying to catch the number on who that was, but the Vikings get the ball. I think they say that, well, no, it wasn't her. Anyway, the Vikings have it. Best has it in the backcourt. She brings it down the floor. Takes it across the timeline, feeds it over to Olsen on the left side. Now Olsen takes it between the circles, back over to the right side. Minute 18 to go. Gets it over to Bertram Schofield. Lays it up and in. Emily Bertram Schofield. 35-23, Vikings by 12. Down the floor comes Mondovi. They feed it over to the left side. This is Everson. Takes it into the lane. Kicks it out to Krybeck, the top of the key. Now over to the left side. That was Thompson. Thompson has it at the baseline. Gets it back out wide. Three-pointer on the way is no good. Rebound gets tapped out of bounds. Last touched by, I believe that was Clark. You're right, that's a 5. And we have a timeout on the floor. 39.3 seconds to go in the first half. Vikings 35, Mondovi Buffaloes 23. You are tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
And taking a look back in at at Mondovi High School. Well, Mounders, Mondovi, it all starts with an M.
Right.
At any rate, I want to remind you that the next girls' game that we have scheduled for the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV will be on Monday night when the Viking girls travel to Spring Valley for a Dunn-St. Croix conference matchup with the Spring Valley Cardinals. And we're going to bring you that game remotely with Viking pregame at 6:55 p.m. and live play-by-play is going to start at 7:10. In fact, the rest of the Viking girls games will all be remotely. They're done at home unless they get a home playoff game. In the WIA regionals.
And we won't be doing
Not on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, we won't. Viking bring it across the timeline. We will be helping out the nice folks at Viking TV, though. And we'll help them with their broadcast. Vikings drive it in the lane. They get it out to Olsen for three from the left corner. No good. Rebound chased down by Bradford. Gets it out to Paulus. Paulus to Schofield on the right side of the lane. Lays it up. It does not go in. Rebound taken down by Mondovi. Down the floor is Gray, and then she feeds it over into the lane, and the shot gets partially blocked. We have a buzzer, and that's the end of the first half with the score. Vikings 35, Mondovi Buffaloes 23. Vikings opening up a nice first half. This is what they needed, and we've got Viking halftime coming up right now.
Time now for Viking Halftime with this week's edition of Viking Profile and the Colfax High School Report. That's all coming up following this brief timeout.
I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're going to get to know Emily Bertram Schofield, who is a junior here at Colfax High School. And we'll be chatting with Emily right after this message.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
We're talking with Emily Bertram Schofield on Viking Profile. And Emily, we know that you play basketball. Are you involved in any other activities at school?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a band nerd, and then I'm in crossball.
Okay. What do you play in the band?
Clarinet and saxophone.
Okay, kind of a woodwinds person?
Yep.
Now, when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of experience have you had?
I started playing basketball in 3rd grade through GNBL, and I kind of it's been pretty much my life since. I've played AAU all along, so I remember, and had a great experience with the game.
What's the most important thing that you've learned playing basketball?
You can't rely on yourself. Teammates are your number one. You have to work team.
Okay, so that's a pretty important lesson. So when you're not playing basketball or you're not at school, what are some other things that keep you interested and occupied?
I love to read and hike. I'll just be outside.
Okay. I've got a few rapid fire questions for you. Just say the first thing that pops into your head. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Ice cream.
Any particular flavor?
Oh, chocolate or chip?
All right. Especially chocolate if it just starts to get soft and melty.
Oh, yeah, that's
okay, I'm with you on that. So, what's your favorite color and why?
Yellow reminds me of sunsets.
Okay. Now, if you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
Ooh, I would be super fast so that I could win a cross-country meet and be up and down the court quickly.
There you go. So do you have a favorite NBA or WNBA team?
Team is the Milwaukee Bucks, and I would have to say my favorite WNBA team is the Seattle Storm.
All right. Do you have a favorite college team?
I watch college, but I guess, UW-Madison, the Badgers.
Okay. We're talking with Emily Bertram-Schofield on Viking Profile. And Emily, you've got a little bit of time yet, but what are your plans for after high school?
I plan to go to college. I'd like to major in biology or outcation.
All right. How about a shout out to your family?
My love, my mom, my dad. Thanks for watching me, God. Have fun.
Now, when people watch Viking games on NLWN-TV, what number do you wear and what position do you play?
I'm 30 and I am a shooting guard.
Okay. We want to thank Emily Bertram-Schofield for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next is more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Time now for the Colfax High School report with an update about what's happening at Colfax High School.
At Colfax High School, last week, the girls' Viking basketball team went 2-0 and took over first place all alone in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference. The Vikings defeated the Boyceville Bulldogs 73-41 last Monday and then knocked off the Elmwood Plum City Wolves 66-43 on Thursday. That win left the Vikings with an 8-3 record overall, 8-1 record in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference. The Viking boys split their two games last week. On Tuesday, they defeated the first-place Spring Valley Cardinals on a last-second shot, 53-51. Then on Friday, the boys were defeated by the Elk Mound Mounders, 61-36. Now, coming up this week, the Viking girls have 3 games, traveling to Elk Mound to take on the Mounders on Monday, then hosting the Glenwood City Hilltoppers on Tuesday, and finally traveling to Mondovi to play the Buffaloes on Friday. We'll carry all 3 of those games on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV, with Viking pregame at 6:55 and live play-by-play starting at 7:10. The Viking boys are scheduled to travel to Boyceville to take on the Bulldogs on Monday, and then travel to Elmwood to play the Elmwood Plum City Wolves on Thursday. The boys will then travel to Elk Mound on Saturday the 30th to make up their game with the Mounders that was postponed back on January 11th. We'll carry the Elmwood Plum City game on Thursday on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV, with Viking pregame at 6:55 and live play-by-play starting at 7:10. Also this week, the middle school girls basketball team will travel to Glenwood City on Tuesday to take on the Hilltoppers. The Viking dance team will compete in the dance regionals in Hudson on Saturday. And in addition, this week, the Dunn-St. Croix Honors Choir band rehearsal will be held on Wednesday, and then their performance will be on Saturday in Spring Valley. Now, coming up next week, the Viking girls will travel to Spring Valley on Monday and to Durand on Thursday. Meanwhile, the Viking boys will host Glenwood City on Tuesday and travel to Mondovi on Friday. Next week, Saturday, the dance team will compete at the Dance State Competition in La Crosse. Hey, don't forget, seniors, scholarship applications are due next week, Friday, and the ACT test is next week, Saturday. And also, the FBLA Regional Conference is next week, Saturday. And that's what's happening at Colfax High School for the week of January 24th through the 30th.
You've been tuned to the Colfax High School report with an update about what's happening at Colfax High School. Stay tuned. Coming up next is more Viking halftime and then second half action.
And we're back at Glenwood City. No, we're not. We're at Mondovi. We're taking a look in at Mondovi High School.
We're somewhere.
Coaching along with Dan Petchow. Yeah, after a while, they all start looking the same, don't they? The colors are a little different, but they all look the same. But Vikings with a nice lead at halftime, 35-23. Dan, how did we get those points?
Yeah, here's the scores right now for Mondovi Buffaloes. Their leading scorer right now is number 20, Ella Pacho. She's got 8 points. Followed by Morgan Clark with 5. We have Ava Gray with 4. We have Cassie Thompson with 3. And Lily Krybeck and Paige Everson with 1. For the Colfax Vikings, their leading scorer right now is number 30, Emily Bertram Schofield. She's got 15 points, followed by Maddie Barstead. She has 9. We have Addison Olson with 5. We have Jasmine Best with 5. And Jasmine Paulus has 1.
Well, I guess it was appropriate then what Emily Bertram Schofield was on a Viking profile at halftime. If she's going to put up 15 points in the first half, I guess she kind of earned that, didn't she?
Yeah, she's getting her finding a spot on the baseline, getting to the hole.
One of these days I'll learn to turn on my microphone when I'm going to make comments like that. All right, we're getting ready to start the second half.
Jeez.
Vikings will have the ball.
Are you newbie or over there?
Yeah, I think so. All right, Harmon going to inbound, but evidently we have a question. And the Mondovi coach evidently has a question about who should be inbounding. I think he's questioning whether they changed the direction of the arrow at halftime like they're supposed to. Because the teams change ends of the floor, you have to change which way the arrow's pointing. But it's going to remain the way it is. Vikings going to inbound. Harmon is going to inbound it. Looks like she's going to send it over to Olson. Once they give her the ball. And she feeds it to Olson in the backcourt, who brings it down to come across the timeline. Olson feeds it over to the left side to Barstead. Now they get it back out high to Olson. Drives down the lane, lays it up, and it goes in. Addison Olson with another 2. 37-23, Vikings on top. Mondo brings it down the floor. And we decided the one with all the hair is Catherine Thompson, didn't we? Yeah, then they get it over to Johnson on the right side. Then they get back out high to Thompson, over to the left side. And they get it back out high to Everson, and then to Thompson. I think that's Clark over in the corner. They get it back out high. Shot is no good. Rebound taken down, puts it up, and no good. Rebound tapped around by the Vikings. Barstead comes away with it, gets it over to Olson, who brings it down the timeline. Olson quickly down the left side, feeds it off, gets it into the corner, three-pointer on the way, comes up a little bit short, and we wrestle for it on the floor. We have a dump ball being called, and Paulus tied that one up. Possession arrow in favor of the Mondovi Buffalo. And they bring it down the floor. Feeding it over to Thompson on the left. High, wide, and left. Cross court pass back over to the right side. And we have Clark taking a step too many. So the Vikings will have it. The inbound at Harmon. Harmon tries to feed it up. Yeah, got it over to Barstead. And Barstead's going to take it through the center circle. Feeding it off to the left side to Paulus. Over to Olson on the right. Olson takes it down to the baseline, turns around, gets it out to Barstead. Barstead drives over to the lane, gets it back out to Olson on the right wing, and she gets called for a double dribble. She kind of hesitated on her move, brought the up hand over to steady things, and as soon as she touched it and put it back to the floor, that double dribble. The Buffaloes with it into the forecourt. They get it over to the left side and left corner, getting it back out high to Thompson on the left wing. Now they get it out between the circles. That's Johnson. Now over to the right side to Clark, and then down into the corner. Shot goes up, no good. Olson on the rebound, and down the floor she comes. Addison Olsen takes it to the right side, dishes it back to Paulus, cuts towards the lane, tries to pass it across the court, got tipped, but the Vikings chase it down. Bradford with it over to Olsen on the right side. Cross court pass over to Harmon, puts up 3, no good. Rebound, chased down by Paulus, she got it, gets it out to Bradford, feeds it to Olsen. Then over to Bradford on the left side, to Olsen, to Harmon cutting the lane. And she couldn't get the shot off, gets taken away by the Buffaloes, and down the floor they come. Right straight down the lane is Johnson, but she doesn't get it to go. And coming away with the ball are the Vikings. Down the left side, feeding it across to Harmon, who lays it up off the glass and in. Marissa Harmon, and Buffalo want to talk it over. 15-10 to go in the game. Vikings 39 and the Buffaloes 23. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining? Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Dr. Bruce Buckley and his staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380.
And we're back here. Dan's already planning the snack wagon for tomorrow's ice racing. And he's got his wife at home making good stuff for us, let me tell you. All right, down the floor come the Buffaloes. They come across the timeline, feed it over. That's Paschal down on the left baseline. Turns around, gets it out to Everson, puts up the 3. It rattles around and out. Oh, it didn't. It went down through. It rattled around, went up above the rim, and then came back down through. So Ella Paschal with the 3. Vikings bring it across the timeline. Barstead with it. Vikings up 39-26. Barstead just outside the arc on the right side. Feeds it across court to Olsen down into the left corner. To Harmon, back out to Barstead on the left side. Tries to penetrate, can't. Gets it out to Harmon, over to Olsen on the right. To Paulus on the left. Paulus at the free throw line. Gets it out to Bradford. Down into the corner to Olsen. She drives the baseline, lays it up. It does not go in, but she gets her own rebound. Dishes it out to Bradford, then to Barstead. Barstead goes in, puts it up, no good. Ball gets chased down by Harmon. Over to Paulus. Long shot from Bradford on the other side is no good, and
it just went over the backboard.
oh, okay. So Mondovi has the ball. And they inbound it. Coming down the floor. Across the timeline. Clark with it between the circles, feeds it over to the right side. That's Johnson with it. Get it, takes it out to the top of the key, feeds it to Clark in the lane. She puts it up, it's no good, but she draws the foul. And it's going to be McKenna Shipman with her second personal, first team foul of this half on the Vikings. First shot is up and good. This is Clark at the line. Second shot on the way, it's all good. 39-28, Vikings by 11. Inbound pass gets knocked away and then chased down by the Vikings, and it goes out of bounds. Last touched by Mondovi. It's really hard to tell because they aren't showing us where the action's happening. All right, here we go. The Vikings have the ball. Best feeds it over to Olsen, back over to Best on the right side. She takes it down to the right baseline, feeds it back out high to Olsen. Olsen over to Shipman at the top of the key, back to Best. Best from the free throw line. Thought about it, decided not to, gets it to Olsen, three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound taken down by the Buffaloes. Clark to bring it down the floor. Feeds it over to the right side, and now back over to the left side to Johnson. Then to Thompson. Thompson on the left side to Johnson down in the left corner. Puts up a shot. That was inside the arc, so it's a two-pointer. 39-30. Abby Johnson with a two-pointer. Olsen brings the ball down the floor for the Vikings. Feeds it down underneath to a wide open Emily Bertram Schofield. They just let her all alone down there, and Addison Olsen found her down there, and easy 2 points for the Vikings. 41-30, Vikings back up by 11. Three-pointer goes up by Mondovi, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul. A foul on the rebound after the shot, and it's going to be on Addison Olsen. I think that's her only her second team foul on the Vikings. And the inbound pass. Then back towards the lane to Johnson, and the Vikings tie it up. We get a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of the Vikings.
Yeah, good.
And we have somebody still down on the floor. Addison Olsen. And she's going to go off. She doesn't look like she's any too worse for wear, though. She's moving okay.
Yeah, good job at number 32, Jasmine Best, to jump in there and get the jump ball.
Trainer's going to take a quick look at her. Abby Irwin on the dribble. Feeds it over to Best. Best across the timeline. Over to the left side to Bertram Schofield. Back to Best on the right from three. No. Rebound taken away by the Mondovi Buffaloes, and down the floor they come. Vikings up by 11 with 12:08 to go. Over to the left side. This is a shot by Paschal. It's up and good. Three-pointer by Ella Paschal. We got a timeout being called. Timeout on the floor with 11:59 to go in the game. Vikings 41, Mondovi 33. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
A high-deductible health plan, opening a health savings account at Dairy State Bank will allow you to save tax-free dollars to pay for a long list of health-related services allowed by the IRS. Dairy State Bank HSAs are serviced locally and work like a regular checking account. You can use a debit card or check to pay for expenses and access your account through online or mobile banking. Visit DairyStateBank.com to learn more about HSAs and online or mobile banking. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
And we want to remind you that the next boys game that we're going to cover on NLWN-TV is going to be, let's see. I don't have the right games listed here on this sheet. It's not until, I believe, the 8th of February, and then again on the 11th of February. Those are the two dates. The one on the 8th will bring you virtually, and I believe that's Spring Valley. And the one on the 11th is at home, and that will be our last game of the season on NLWN-TV. It'll be a home game, Viking boys against the Durand Panthers. Vikings bring the ball inbounds. Down the floor they come, and Jasmine Best takes it down, lays it up and in. Our check that was Barstead, Maddie Barstead. They both have the long brown ponytails and a number that ends in a 2. All right, Buffaloes feed it over to the left side. Shot goes up from the corner. That was Paschal with the shot. Or check that, Everson with the shot. And down the floor come the Vikings. Shipman drives the right baseline, puts it up. It does not go in. Rebound being fought for underneath. We're going to get a whistle and a foul. It's a foul on the Buffaloes. It'll be their first team foul. Evidently it is a foul on Abby Johnson. It's her third personal. And the Vikings have it. Best feeds it over to Shipman. Back to Best. Back to Shipman on the right side. To Barstead at the top of the key. Now they get it over to the left side. Back to Barstead up on the left wing. Takes it to the free throw line. Feeds it over to the left corner. Puts it up and no good. That was Bertram Schofield. Chases down the loose ball. We have a whistle and we have a jump ball being called. Possession arrow in favor of the Mondovi Buffaloes. Vikings are scrapping on that floor tonight, chasing down everything that's a ball that's loose down there. Like, you're not going to get to play with our ball. That's almost the attitude it looks like. Peschel with it, gets it to the top of the key to Thompson. Now over to the right side, back out to Thompson from the top of the key, puts up the shot, it's good, a three-pointer. (43-36), Vikings up by 7. Best with it, feeds it into the forecourt to Shipman. Shipman takes it down to the right baseline, gets it back out high to Barstead, steps inside the arc, shoots it, no good. And rebound taken down by the Mondovi Buffaloes. They're trying to make a bit of a run. Feed it across, but it gets intercepted by the Vikings. Down the floor comes Barstead. She lays it up. It does not go in. Rebound taken down by the Buffaloes, and back down the floor we go. We're going end to end right now. They feed it down underneath, laying it up and in is Abby Johnson. 43-38. Vikings up by 5. That's the closest it's been in quite a while. Down the floor come the Vikings. Barstead puts the shot up. No shot. And we have a whistle and a foul down underneath, evidently, or away from the ball. That's good to see Addison Olsen back in the lineup. Didn't look like she was any worse for wear when she was slow coming up off the floor. That foul, by the way, was on Paige Everson. It was her first personal. Shot goes up from 3 by the Vikings. It's no good. Rebound being chased down. We have a whistle. And I believe a foul on Riley Parker. That will be her second personal, third team foul. So Mondovi will have the ball to inbound. 9:34 to go in the game. They get the ball in. This is Park with it over on the right side. Gets it down into the right corner. Johnson with it. They feed it out high. The ball gets loose. And now the Vikings put on a trap. And we have a timeout being called by the Buffaloes. So with a timeout on the floor, it's Vikings 43, the Mondovi Buffaloes 38, and you're tuned to Viking Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
And we're back here taking a look in at Mondovi, where the Vikings have a 43-38 lead over the Buffaloes. And the Buffaloes inbound the ball. This is Peschel with it on the right side. Feeds it over to the left side. Three-pointer goes up. It's no good. Rebound by Barstead. And she got fouled right away on the rebound on the floor. And that foul is on Ella Peschel. Her second personal. Third team foul on the Buffaloes. I think that may have been a almost intentional foul by the Buffaloes because got a few to give, and they can see they may need to get into a fouling situation. Olsen has the ball for the Vikings, takes it to the right side, gets it to Bertram Schofield at the top of the key. Back to Olsen between the circles. She takes it over to the left side to Bertram Schofield, taking it down the left side. Puts the shot up. It's no good. Rebound. Emily Bertram Schofield comes away with it, and she gets fouled underneath. No, they're going to say it's a jump ball. Possession error in favor of the Vikings.
Doucette's wondering about that over there on the sideline.
Vikings inbounded. Olsen has it on the right side, or on the left side, gets it out between the circles to Bertram Schofield, back over to Olsen on the left. She dribbles it out high, and there was a reach-in foul that time, And that looked like it was on Ella Paschal, maybe. Yes. That'll be Paschal's third foul, fourth team foul on the Buffaloes. Inbound pass to Barstead. On the left side. She takes it over to the free throw line on the left. Kicks it over to Olsen on the left. Drives into the lane. Gets it back out to Harmon. Three-pointer on the way. Nothing but net that time for Marissa Harmon.
She's got 5 points.
46-38. Vikings up by 8. And here come the Buffaloes. Shot goes up. It's no good. Rebound taken away by Olsen as she brings it down across the timeline. Takes it to the right side. Dishes it off to Barstead. Barstead cross court pass over to Harmon. Down to Parker. Now down there in the corner to Emily Bertram-Schofield. We're going to get a blocking foul being called by on Paschal. That's going to be her fourth foul. 15th foul.
Yeah, so she'll have to sit.
Doesn't have to, but it's the wise choice.
Right. Yeah, too much game left. 7:49 left.
Vikings inbound it. Into the lane goes Bertram-Schofield, feeds it out to Barstead, but we have a whistle and evidently a jump ball. That was a real quick jump ball. As Emily Bertram-Schofield dribbled into a little bit of traffic, turned around and passed it out, but evidently some other hands got on the ball in the process. Mondovi brings it down the floor. They feed it over to the left side. That's to Ava Gray. She gets it down into the left corner. They try to dish it into the lane to Thompson, and ball goes out of bounds. Check, that's a foul. And we'll see who that's on. As the Buffaloes are getting ready to inbound it. They've got it out between the circles over to the right side. Drives the right baseline, putting up the shot. It's no good. Rebound, and we got a foul being called. I think that last foul was on Emily Bertram-Schofield. As is this one. This is her third. 15 foul Vikings. Ava Gray at the line. Her first shot is up and good. 46-39. Vikings by 7. And Gray is waiting for the ball for her second shot. Dribbles it a couple times. Shots on the way, and it's good.
Eva Gray with 7 points tonight so far.
46-40, Vikings on top. Down the floor they come. Get it over to Harmon on the right side. Back out high to Bradford. Now over to the left corner to Olsen. She circles around, drives into the lane, gets it out to Bradford on the right, puts up the shot, no good. Rebound taken down by Harmon, and we have a whistle and a foul on the rebound.
That's on number 24, Abby Johnson.
And that's going to be the sixth foul. That's also Johnson's fourth foul. That's the sixth team foul, so after the Vikings inbound the ball, they'll be in the bonus. So Mondovi was successful at using up the shots or fouls to give. Inbound pass to Olsen, gets it out to Barstead. Barstead takes it to the free throw line. Turns around, gets it out to Olsen. Thought about the three-pointer, decided against it. Gets it to Bradford. To Best, driving the lane, circling through, puts up the shot. It does not go in. Mondovi comes down with the ball. They take it down the right side, into the right corner. Getting it over to the left side now from the top of the key. Shot goes up, it's no good. Rebound gets knocked out of bounds. It's going to be Viking ball. 46-40 with 6:32 to go. Full court pressure being put on by the Buffaloes. Vikings inbound it to Olsen. She's being guarded by Clark. Across the timeline. Gets it over to Best. Best takes it between the circles, feeds it over to the left side. to Barstead. Barstead drives into the lane. Now dishes it out to Harmon, puts up the three. No. Rebound taken down, put right back up by Barstead. She got fouled on the way up. Addie Barstead going to the line.
Fouls on number 22, Ava Gray. That's her third.
And that's a 7th team foul. And we have a timeout being called by the Mondovi Buffaloes with 6:12 to go in the game. Vikings up by 6, 46-40. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. I'll spit it up eventually.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Rick Olson along with Dan Petrow bringing you all the action of tonight's game between the Vikings and the Mondovi Buffaloes, where the Vikings have a 46-40 lead. Hey, I want to remind you, tomorrow morning, 10:45 in the morning, folks, tune in to NLWN-TV because we have some more ice racing from the Northern Wisconsin Ice Racing Club, NWIRC. They'll be from Otter Lake in Stanley, Wisconsin, and we'll bring all that action to you. Our coverage begins at 10:45 tomorrow morning on NLWN-TV. Barstead at the line. Her first shot is on the way. It rolls around and goes in. And Barstead getting a second one. It's on the way. It's also good. 48-40. 6:12 to go. Dan was talking while we were away for a minute there that now the Vikings have to hit their free throws. Buffaloes have it in the forecourt. Take it into the lane, feed it off to the left side. That's a shot by Rybeck. It's no good. She gets the ball on the rebound, and they feed it over to the right corner. Driving the right baseline, kicking it back out high. Shot is good. It's a three-pointer by Everson. 48-43. Mounders cut it to 5. Barstead looking to go somewhere with it. Long pass down the floor for Olsen. She tries to put it up off the bottom of the backboard. The pass led her a little bit too far, and she couldn't quite get the shot up in time. And Buffaloes come right back down with it, but it gets knocked out of bounds by Barstead.
Yeah, good job by Colfax to get back and play defense. Stop the easy two.
Shipman and Bertram Schofield back into the lineup for the Vikings. As the Buffalo to inbound it. Everson, she has it on the right side. Feeds it down to the lane. Turn around, and she can't get the shot anywhere. They get it back over to Everson on the left side. Get it Clark, and the ball got tipped. Vikings knocked it loose. Then it got tipped by the Buffaloes before it went out of bounds, and the Vikings have it. Mondovi putting on full court pressure. They get the ball into Best. She dribbles it down across the timeline, down the right side, gets it out to the top of the key to Barstead. Barstead over to Best on the left. She's on the left wing. Back over to Bertram Schofield. She drives into the lane, puts up the jumper, and it's no good. Rebound put up by Shipman. No good, but she got fouled. And that foul is going to be on Lily Krybeck. That's her first personal. 8th team foul. First shot by Shipman is up and good. The rim hit the backboard and down through the net. Doesn't matter as long as it goes through. McKenna Shipman for her second shot. It's on the way. No good. Rebound taken away by Mondovi. 49-43, Vikings up by 6. Mondovi takes it down the left side. They feed it over, take it into the lane. It's Gray. They put up a shot and no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. They get it over to Olsen on the right side. She gets it over to the left side to Barstead. Or check that, that's Best. Now back over to Olsen, out between the circles. She tries to feed it to Bertram Schofield, gets a hold of it, covered closely. Now they feed it her into the left corner to Barstead. She gets it out high to Shipman. Shipman feeds it to Olsen. Vikings not afraid to use up a little bit of clock and work for that good shot. They get it to Shipman on the right side. Get it out to Olsen. She takes it out high to Barstead between the circles. Over to Shipman on the right side. She tries to drive down, gets it out to Olsen on the right wing. Olsen feeds it out high to Barstead. Or to check that, that's Best. Now down to the corner on the left side to Barstead, who tries the left baseline, puts it up and in. You're right, it was Emily Bertram Schofield on that. From that far side, it's kind of hard to tell. All right, they feed it over to the left side, the Buffaloes do. This is Ava Gray. She feeds it over into the corner to Clark, down in the right corner. Clark lost control. Buffaloes try to save it, but it gave it right back into the hands of the Vikings. Barstead has it on the right side, takes it to the free throw line. A jumper from just inside the free throw line, no good. Rebound taken down by the Buffaloes. And we have a timeout being called by the Mondovi Buffaloes with a timeout on the floor, 3:14 to go. Vikings 51, Buffaloes 43. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
And we're back looking in at Mondovi High School. Rick Olson here along with Dan Petschow. Vikings have a 51-43 lead. I'll tell you what, Dan, one of the things I've been really impressed with the Vikings is their tough defensive play.
Yeah, they've been doing a really good job boxing out and getting to the rim. On the offense end, they're getting their rebounds, getting second chances, third chances.
That's one of the big differences between the early part of the season and now is the Vikings used to just get totally dominated on the board. Vikings have we'll try again. They have a height disadvantage to most teams, but they have really progressed at taking a commanding presence underneath. And the Buffaloes have it in the forecourt. They feed it over to the right side, trying the right baseline. Shot goes up. It's no good. They get the rebound, and the shot goes up. We're going to get a foul down on the floor. It's going to put Clark on the line. And the foul is going to be on Best, I believe. It is. That's her first personal. Or check that. They won't go to the line. That's only the 16th foul on the Vikings. Clark to inbound it. She gets it out to Everson, puts up a three. It's off the back of the air, no good. Rebound by Shipman, gets it over to Barstead. And down the floor come the Vikings. Barstead takes it over to the left side, then drives into the lane, feeds it out to Olsen. Olsen was wide open that time, decided not to take it, gets it off to Best, who decided to take it and got the three-pointer. Jasmine Best with the three. 54-43, Vikings up by 11. 2.5 minutes to go in this game. Down the floor come the Buffaloes. And they're got a whistle and a jump ball being called. That was very, very close. That was Thompson on the drive. That was very close to a travel before she got tied up with it. Vikings inbound it, full court pressure still. They get it to Olsen, who takes it across the timeline. Down the left side, tries to lay it up. Didn't go. She thought she got fouled, but she didn't. And here come the Buffaloes back down the floor. And going up that time is Paschal, and she did get fouled on the way up.
Fouls on number 32, Jasmine Best.
That'll be her second. And the 7th foul on the Vikings. Ella Paschal at the line for the Buffaloes. First shot's on the way. It cuts the Viking lead to 10. 54-44. 2:13 to go. Paschal's second shot is up. It's also good. 9-point lead for the Vikings. And we have another timeout on the floor. 54-45. Vikings on top. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
And we're taking a look back in at Mondovi. Vikings have a 3-possession lead, 54-45 over the Mondovi Buffaloes. Vikings inbound the pass. Emily Bertram-Schofield with it. She gets just before she gets it across. Then she gets it across, and the Vikings get fouled right away. Or check that, a timeout call. This reminder that the next girls' game here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV will be next Monday night when the girls travel to Spring Valley. They're going to match up with the Spring Valley Cardinals. That's a Dunn-St. Croix conference game. We'll bring you that game remotely with Viking pregame at 6:55 p.m. and live play-by-play will start at 7:10. That game is going to take on a little bit additional importance because if the Vikings can hang on and win here, then their magic number is 2, and by winning at Spring Valley, they would clinch no worse than a tie for the conference championship. So we're getting close to that kind of time of year. All right, Vikings inbound the ball. They toss it into the backcourt to Best. Best brings it across the timeline. Feeds it over to the left side to Barstead, to Shipman out between the circles. She gets it to Olsen between the circles. Dishes it off to Best. Best takes it over to the left side, circles around, comes back, and we get a whistle and a foul. That foul is going to be on Thompson. That's Thompson's first foul. It's a 9th foul on the Buffaloes. So Jasmine Best at the line for the Vikings. First shot's on the way, and it's good. So she earns the bonus. Minute 49 to go. 10-point lead for the Vikings. Second shot now. It's on the way. No good. Rebound. Taken down by the Buffaloes. And down the floor they come. This is Clark with it. Takes it down the right side of the lane. Lays it up. It doesn't go in. And the Vikings come away with it. Emily Bertram-Schofield on the dribble. Gets it back over to Olsen. And we get a whistle and a foul. We're into the fouling game now. That foul is on Clark. It's her 3rd personal. That's the 10th team foul. Evidently, the foul occurred to Bertram-Schofield before she got the ball over to Olsen. First shot is on the way. It rolls around. Does not go in. These are those critical shots you were talking about, Dan. Emily Bertram-Schofield with her second shot. It's on the way. This one's good. 56-45. As the Buffaloes bring it down the floor. Clark on the dribble. And she passes it over to the wing. It gets tapped away by the Vikings. We have a scramble for it on the floor, and we're going to get a whistle. Timeout. A timeout call by the Buffaloes with 1:22 to go. Vikings on top. And we'll just keep it right here.
Yeah, that was a pretty quick whistle. That ball was rolling across the court. Got to the other side. 2 girls dove for it. And I don't know who had possession long enough to call a timeout, but they gave it to Mondovi.
Well, maybe it's because, well, and I don't know how they could have said Mondovi would have had possession prior to that ball going loose because Because I don't think possession changes until it actually changes.
Yeah, it really wasn't anybody that had good
Because the
control.
Vikings had knocked that ball loose right away.
But they gave it to Mondovi.
So they will get to inbound it.
Crucial part of the game right now for Colfax. If they get the ball back, they are going to get fouled, so they got to hit their shots here the rest of the way.
And the Vikings are really good at also using up the clock. If they get a chance and spread things out.
Yep, Mondovi's got to get lucky here and hit some threes and try to get back into it.
Inbound pass down deep, gets tapped out of bounds by the Vikings. Shipman jumped up and got a hand on it. The pass was intended for Abby Johnson. So the Buffaloes will inbound it again. High pass gets into the backcourt and out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. It'll be way back down under the basket again because it wasn't touched by anyone. And so, unless they're saying the Vikings tipped the ball, nope, Vikings are going to get it. And the inbound pass to Bertram Schofield. And they feed it back to Barstead, who gets fouled. Maddie Barstead to go to the line. Well, no, Emily Bertram Schofield. So evidently she's the one who got fouled. It's really hard to tell when the camera person doesn't go down and show the action way down along the baseline. First shot goes up. It's no good. Score remains 56-45. We are really thankful, however, for this camera feed coming from Mondovi. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to bring you this game, and it's a critical game in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference. Bertram Schofield's second shot is good. 57-45, Vikings up by 12. Clark has it between the circles, feeds it over to the right side. Three-pointer launch from there comes up short. Vikings get a hold of it. Bertram Schofield has it, and she's trying to find a way to pass it and gets fouled. She's going to go to the line for two.
Yeah, and that's number 20 with the foul, so I'll be here fifth for Mondovi.
Ella Paschal is done for the night. And she gets replaced by Ava Gray. Emily Bertram Schofield's first shot is up. It's good. (58-45). Second shot on the way. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Mondovi. And down the floor they come. This is Clark with it. Feeds it over to the left side. That's Gray. Now back over to the right side. To Thompson. Then down into the corner. I believe that's Clark over there. Back out high to Thompson. She drives in. We have a whistle and a foul on the Vikings this time. Or check, that was Johnson that was driving in. Johnson's going to the line. Foul is called on Jasmine Best. It's her third personal. 8th team foul on the Vikings. Shot goes up by Johnson. It's no good. And her second shot's on the way. That one rattles down. 58-46. Vikings to inbound. They get it into Bertram Schofield, who gets fouled immediately, and will walk the length of the floor.
That foul's on number 22, Ava Gray. I do believe that's her fourth. No, her fifth.
Her fifth. So Ava Gray is done for the night. Well, they've got 6 on the floor right now. They can't do that. It's not hockey. Now they've got it figured out. Emily Bertram Schofield to be shooting 2. First one's on the way. It's good. Boy, what a night she's had tonight. 59-46. Vikings on top. Second one's also good. 60-46. 40 seconds to go. Mondovi drives into the lane, puts a shot up. It's no good and goes out of bounds off the Vikings. So Mondovi will have the ball. 36 seconds left. Pass gets inbounded to the right side. Shot goes up, no good. Rebound taken down by Shipman. They get it to Olsen, who gets tied up and fouled. So Addison Olsen's going to go to the line for two. Olsen with her first shot. It's on the way. Off the iron, no good. Second shot. On the way, it's good. 61-46. Down the floor come the Vikings. Falling over was Johnson, and the ball got intercepted by the Vikings. Johnson tried to pass it back as she was falling, because otherwise it would have been a travel. 15 seconds to go. Vikings have the ball high outside. They're going to just try to run the clock. 10 seconds left. Olsen has it high, wide, and right. She's just got the ball on her hip right now. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and there's your buzzer. Final score, Vikings 61, the Mondovi Buffaloes 46. The Vikings have eliminated one of the teams that's been chasing them for the conference championship, and they've also guaranteed no worse than a tie with Elk Mound. And they still have a one-game lead over the Durand Panthers. And I'll tell you what, we're going to have Viking post-game coming up right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and... I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Thank you for joining us for Colfax Viking girls basketball. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Post Game, where we'll take a look back at today's Viking game.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Time now for Viking postgame, with a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking girls game. And now, Viking postgame.
And we've got Rick Olsen and Dan Petchow as Dan is busily getting his numbers all together. And we're back here in our NLWN TV studios, where we bring you our remote games. 61-46, Vikings victorious over the Mondovi Buffaloes. And Dan, I know you're busy jotting down a few notes there, but why don't you tell us how we got to that 61-46 score?
Yeah, here's the scores for Mondovi tonight. Their leading scorer was number 20, Ella Paschal. She had 16 points, followed by Morgan Clark and Ava Gray. They both had 7 points each. We had Abby Johnson, number 24. She had 5 points. We had Paige Everson with 4. We had Catherine Thompson and Cassie Thompson with 3 points each. And number 15, Lily Krybeck, she had 1 point. For the Colfax Vikings, their leading scorer tonight was number 30, Emily Bertram-Schofield. She had 24 points, followed by number 22, Maddie Barstead. She had 13 points, followed by Jasmine Best with 11. We had Addison Olson with 8. We had Marissa Harmon with 5. And we had Jasmine Paulus and McKenna Shipman with 1.
So that all comes out to a 61-46 score in favor of the Vikings. Comment real quickly about the Viking defense. Again, the first time these two teams met back on December 1st, first game of the season for the Vikings, they were hurt the most by Josie Hulke, who hit him up for like 17 points that night. I don't think she even showed up in the game tonight.
Yeah, I didn't call her name once.
And they did a pretty good job on Clark, holding her well below her season average. She puts up, I want to say it's somewhere around 11 points per game. You've got all the things up over there, but they kept her down to 7. That's a key. The defense, they say offense wins games, but defense wins championships, and that's what the Vikings are trying to close in on. And they did a pretty good job defensively tonight against a pretty decent scoring Mondovi Buffalo team.
Yeah, Mondovi, they fought hard. They got back, and it was close.
And so the Buffaloes fall. That takes them out of the conference race with the Vikings, and because they're now 3 games back, and the Vikings only have 2 left. So we'll take a look at what that's going to mean right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
NLWN-TV is excited to present live NWA RCI's racing action. Next Saturday, January 30th, we will present racing from Stanley, Wisconsin. Join us at 11:45 a.m. from Otter Lake in Stanley. These races are sponsored by the Curve-In in Stanley. That's live ice racing action at 11:45 a.m. on Saturday, January 30th on NLWN-TV.
And we're back here at our studios. Well, Dan, I'll tell you what, 61-46. That's what it's all about. Vikings are winners. They're going to be playing on Monday against Spring Valley. A win on Spring Valley will just about lock things up. If they win at Spring Valley, it guarantees they are no worse than a tie for the conference championship. And that all kind of depends on what Durand does. If Durand drops one somewhere between here and there, they could win it outright on Monday. And if nothing else, it's all going to boil down to Thursday's game at Durand.
Yeah, we're getting down to the end here. Games are getting really important for all teams.
And then we have playoffs coming up. We won't be covering the playoffs as such, but boy, oh boy, it's March Madness in February. Everything got moved up a little bit with COVID, and so a lot of exciting basketball still coming your way. Final score again tonight, Vikings 61, Mondovi Buffaloes 46. For Dan Petchow, this is Rick Olson. You've been tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars.
Wow.
But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows? Maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Hey! Okay.
If you love me enough to tolerate my perfect little pets and all their glorious dander, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking girls game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.